We're going a little bit early because we have a big storm coming in and I don't want to risk the possibility of losing power. So we're going to go early today to cover a monochromatic welcome wreath, which is popular, extraordinarily popular. I can't even keep these in stock because I make different versions or variations of them. And so they're very nice as transitional wreaths to put up on your front door as you're switching out your holiday favorites. So a couple housekeeping items really super quick. Hi Cheryl, welcome. We need to make sure that you guys know how to turn notifications on. So I know, or maybe some of you don't realize that there was a really big Facebook outage, Instagram, WhatsApp, Threads, all that stuff happened. I think it was like Wednesday. So when things like that happen, I always like to think, so does somebody like go in and like turn the power on and turn the power back off to reset everything? Because when it does, it has a tendency of resetting all of our personal settings that we have set up through Facebook. So let's make sure that you guys are getting notified. So to get notified on Facebook, make sure that you've liked this page. You have to do two things, like and follow. Like is found, follow is hidden. Click the three little dots next to that blue button and it'll open up a little sub menu. You'll just want to make sure that your notifications are turned on for live. And you need to do that for every page that you're following. I know, what a pain. But that is Facebook's issue. If you are on YouTube, just subscribe or hit the subscription bell and you'll get notified whenever I have uploaded a new video, which is from an earlier Facebook Live. So YouTubers, if you want to participate in the live, because so many of you comment and go, how come you're not responding to my comments? It's because you're catching this on a Facebook replay. So head on over to Cats Creations Wreaths on Facebook and come participate with us. Also, trying to think of what else. Oh, if you want to save this tutorial, super simple. Facebook users, click the share button. If you are on YouTube, all you have to do is click the save button and you're all set up. Okay, I am going to pivot you down and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll cover all of the things with you. So hang tight really quick. I want to make sure that you guys can see measurements because sometimes things I think you can see, you can't see. Let me do this really quick and make sure I can see you, which is really important. Okay, there we go. And let me go ahead and type this in. I might just change we can only have like one pinned comment that comes up automatically. So I might change this. Oops. Because right now it is for the stars. And every single time I go to type it and try to change it, it always spells things the wrong way. So I'm not a tablet person. I'm a keyboard person. Okay. Oops. See, it does it a couple times. Alrighty. So the website is pinned down below. I don't have this wreath listed yet because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but we're going to keep it very generic. So this is a black and white themed. We're using the 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame as far as supplies go. We are using this 6 by 12, kind of like, I guess it's a black and white plaid welcome sign. This is from Pam at Personalize it by Pam. We are going to be pairing that with a black and white jute burlap deco mesh. We're cutting these to 20 inches and there'll be 18 of them. So just one complete roll with no leftovers, which is great. Then we're going to be pairing it with a handful of ribbons. Let me pull all these up. We have a 1-inch black and white houndstooth, 1.5 inch black and white plaid, a black and white striped, a black and white Swiss dot, a black stripe with a black and white gingham edge, we kind of have a black and white farmhouse ticking, and then a 1.5 inch white and black polka dots. So where did it all come from? Craft Outlet, Kringle, Craft Outlet, Kringle, the Wreath shop, and Kringle. Matter of fact, I think the ones that I had gotten from Kringle, which were, hold on, this, and this, I think they came as like a big bundle. And so for those of you that are in my private group, you'll know that the SKU numbers are the same. It's because they were part of a black and white ribbon ribbon bundle. So, and that's all we're going to put in this design. So we are going to get started. We're going to finish wiring together our 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. And I'm just going to put the first of my white pipe cleaners in this final section. I've already done the other 5. These get, if you use the weld marks as kind of a gauge, just kind of find a midway point and wire together the 2 inside wire frames. Then we're going to do it on the outside, and we're going to do black and white. And I'm kind of doing the same thing, using the weld and that pipe cleaner that I put in, and try to find a halfway point between those. And we're wiring together the outside too in each section, trying to make sure my pipe cleaners are even. And then what I have been doing, I haven't done it in this section, is I'm making sure that we have roughly about 3 inches in between these pipe cleaners, because these ones have a tendency of being fine. It's just sometimes these 2 get really close together, and then these 2 really far apart and then close together. So I have found if you just take a moment and just verify that you've got roughly about 3 inches in between, you will have them adequately spaced out for your deco mesh. Now, with my deco mesh, we're just going to do the next one. Normally I say we go and do all the 6 in the center, and then we move to the outside. We're going to go ahead and just start with an inside, and then the next one method is just, I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to go here, and here, and here, and we're going to keep going until we get all the way around the form. Right, Cheryl, this is an all-season wreath. You could throw red berries in it, right, and it becomes a Christmas wreath. Or you could change out the sign, and you would have, here's the nice thing about that. I'm going to see if I have those pieces, because there was a wreath maker who came up with an idea of making interchangeable signs. So I'm going to see if I have that. It only works if your sign is the same size. So we're going to do ruffles for this. And I had to cut these with a not a wood burning tool, rotary cutter, because we have the jute. It'll go fine through here. It's just here on that cotton fiber. It slows down, starts to burn, starts to smoke. So just rotary cut it and you'll be fine. We're going to ruffle in about 1/2 inch increments. I just use my scissors to kind of weight that down. We're taking the finished edge. We're placing that right to the inside center. And we're just going to twist a couple times. Oops. We're going to cut off the remainder. I'm just doing the inside 6. We will be removing the pipe cleaners on. So I'm not going to fluff this side because I've got to get that piece in first. So let's go ahead and do that. Hi, Audrey. So glad to see you too. Hi, Joan. Welcome. Hi, Janie. So are any of you new that are joining me for the very first time? I'd love to welcome you. Matter of fact, that's how I discovered fellow crafters, is by joining a Facebook Live and finding out from people that I had people who lived fairly close to me. So on this one, I am going to now underneath kind of fan this out So I kind of want to fill in that gap a bit. We're going to take the inside edge. We're going to kind of fold that over because that is where it is likely to fray. And then right here where we're adjoining those pieces, we're moving into a different section. I like to do the same thing and then just make sure that my pipe cleaner is right in the center. And we're going to grab another piece of mesh. Do the same thing. This is called the ruffle method. Other people call it the bow tie method, scrunch method. It's all the same. So that's going right on the side. So we're starting on the left side. We're right here. I'm not going to fluff this side because I need to get my centerpiece in first. And this is just going to go perfectly right here. And then let's go ahead and get our inside piece in, and then we'll tackle that outside piece. Okay, well, happy Friday to those of you. Even though it's Friday the 13th, how odd that we would have a Friday the 13th in the month of December. Interesting. Not that I'm a believer of bad things that happen on those days. Man, it is really coming down. It is the first time today. Actually, in a couple days, it has come down this hard. So that'll be nice. I'm going to now take that inside piece. I'm going under that left side. Because remember, we just put that in and I didn't fluff it. And I said we're going to wait till we get the inside piece in. So now that I've done that, I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner and I'm getting the next piece ready. And I'm trying to think if I have any other, I might have like just some generic 6x12 sign. I was trying to think if I had like a pet one. Like this would be great if you switched it out and put a pet sign in. Like switch them out. Okay, now we're getting ready to go into that next section. So we're going to prepare that next pipe cleaner ready to go in. So stay tuned for the end and somebody remind me, Kat, you need to show us how to change out the signs without removing the sign. So this would work out really well. I mean, imagine that. Buy one wreath and change out the sign. What's a pet sign? It's a pet sign, is what I'm saying, Janie. Like if I had a dog sign. I think the sign that I have for the dogs is, it's a round. It's not a rectangle. But you'll see. There was a wreath maker. Her name is Lee. She owns her own company called PLY Wreath Signs, where she sells wreath signs and wreath supplies. And she came up with a way of making it to where you could change out your sign without taking it off. As long as you're, like, it coordinated with your Deco mesh and your ribbon already. I like totally forgot about those. Might have to start making some more of those and just ordering signs that are cross-functional. So like a Christmas sign that would feature in here would work. And people who have like that buffalo plaid, this would work. Everything is all black and white. And like Cheryl added, you could embellish it with a handful of things. Okay. Putting in that right side piece in that section. I'm going to prep and make sure I've got both of my pieces ready. And this one I have to go above and below so that we're all ready to get everything laid in. And I think that there's just something classic about that look. So what you could technically do is you buy the wreath, right? You know the dimensions of the sign. In this one, 6 by 12. Then you can shop any sign company or shop Pam's, because this is where we're using our sign, and then just pick up maybe 2 or 3 other signs, and then you can switch it out for your holidays. And you guys are probably lost. You'll see when I show you, you'll be like, ah, okay, I get it now. Now I understand. Okay, we're gonna put one in the center. If it wasn't so cold, I would open the shop door and then I would just kind of push my workspace towards the front of the door and you guys could watch it rain while we're building wreaths. I think that would just be so beautiful. Because it is really coming down. Then again, you might see deer walk up the driveway that are coming into the yard to get fed. Okay. Getting ready to put our other in. Right, Cheryl. You could sell the wreath with the sign as a unit. Absolutely. I think I will do that. I think I will come up with a design and I will purchase... Oh, I'm trying to think. You could do a cow, like a farmhouse cow wreath. You could do a chicken one with this color palette. Help me come up with some ideas, right? You would love that when it snows. Oh, but obviously that would be way too cold to open that up while it's snowing outside. It would be way cold. I am fighting right now to keep the temperature in here at 60, which is ideal for me. Okay. So what else can you guys think? Right. Okay, Cheryl says you could do a cow theme or a dog theme, one for each season. Okay. What else can you guys think of? A sign idea that would go with a black and white theme. Because remember, you're not changing your mesh, not changing the ribbon. You would just be changing out the sign to go with something different. So like this is our sign. So you would leave, this sign would stay in the wreath and you just clip your new sign on to that. So I'm thinking the black and white and red buffalo plaid for Christmas. That could even like roll over into winter, like a mountain cabin. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Like I'm in my head, I'm going through all the things. You could technically do Valentine's Day and again, add pops of red. Cheryl says anything that's farmhouse or with that border. Right. It's pretty generic. I'm trying to think. So I'm always taking the left piece and placing it over the top of that center one. Okay, now we're adding the right. And I know there's a whole bunch of different black and white. Man, it makes me want to just pop on over to Etsy and look and see black and white signs. What are some options? You could do it for Halloween and add pops of orange. It could be like a haunted house kind of thing. It could be a fall with this color palette for people that are like black and white. And I'm trying to think. Like I did a lot of black and white fall ones with crows. Oh, I love that. So you guys are coming up with some like amazing things. Jamie says if I used mounting tape, it would damage the permanent sign. I'm going to show you how you can do it. Terry says a Halloween witch, a snowman, beautiful. Angel, absolutely. Robin suggested game night or casino theme, which the black and white reminds me of dice and dominoes. That is brilliant. I love that. It could be a football themed or a baseball themed wreath if you have a team that is black and white for their team colors. Like I know the Oakland Raiders, I think, is black and white. They're not my football team. I just happen to know them. Living in California, you saw that everywhere. I'm trying to think. Cheryl, black and white scarecrows. Right? The possibilities are endless. So, Janie, you don't damage the original sign. There are clips, and they just clip on the sign. So, I'm super excited to show you guys, but I gotta find another 6 by 12 inch sign so I can show you how it works. I thought it was actually ingenious. Oh, vintage movies. Yeah, we could do Gatsby. Terry says the Raiders. Yep. Most definitely you could do that. But there's other teams that have like a black and white base that you could do that with. Okay, I got a couple more to squeeze in. 2 more. Okay. So, I'm going to do that. After this live, I'm going to find a handful of more 6 by 12 signs, and I'm going to get them from her. And I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to do that. Not with this one, but I mean, if I still have it in my shop, I will do it with the interchangeable signs and show you how to do it. Okay, here's the last one we're going to squeeze in. This little skinny piece. Now, because we're using a rotary cutter on this wreath, you are like, anytime you use a burlap mesh, you're going to get frays. You're going to get those little stringy things that you can trim off. It's just part of that burlap mesh. Or you can get a product called E6000. It's a spray adhesive, and you can spray the edges, and it just kind of helps to keep it from fraying. But it doesn't, it's not 100% like guaranteed. It just helps keep it together. Okay, so as you see, I've got a clear path all the way through here. It's funny, in my camera it shows black and white, but on my tablet it looks navy blue and white. So look, that's how it's going to look once we add that to this design. All right, let's go through and add our tails and half bows to the outside. Then we'll make the bow. We'll add the sign, we'll add the bow, and I'll show you how to switch out the signs. Okay, these are the ribbon combinations. So I'm using the 1.5" black and white Swiss dot, 19-inch length, paired with the black and white ticking. This is a 2.5 cut to 14-inch pieces. Those are going to go together. And then we're going to take the 1.5" black and white plaid cut to 19 inches. and pair that with the wide black stripe with the black and white gingham edge, 2.5 inches cut to 14-inch pieces. So we are going to start, and I'm going to put this one where all the black pipe cleaners are. So I fold them in half. They're already dovetail cut. We're going to go right up the center. That's going to go right in the middle of the pipe cleaner. We're going to fan that to the outside edge. Now we're going to take our 1.5 inch Swiss dot. We're going to go up about 2 inches and pinch that in. Literally, it's 2 inches. That goes right in that center. And you can come back in here and add, you know, if you wanted to keep your pipe cleaners on, you could add scatters and fillers to this, little black and white ones. I'm not going to do it on this one because I want it to kind of be a very universal wreath. So I always have to right side 1/2 of my ribbon and then just fan those out so we can see both of them nice and pretty like so. Then we are going to do the next pairing. Fold in half, right at the center. Hi, Elizabeth. I started early because we have a pretty big rainstorm coming in a little bit, in just a little bit. So I don't want to lose power. So I thought I'll go early, and then this way I'm guaranteed that I don't lose power. So I have like all my heaters going on in my house just in case. So we're going to do the same thing. Flip over for me. It's always the left portion. And we're going to spin this around the back so we don't see that. Okay, back out, nice and pretty. I want to make sure that those ribbons are staying spaced the way they should. Okay, we are going to do the same thing right up the center. Just one twist. Fan that out, and if your deco mesh gets in the way, just spin it under. Okay, gather in. Oh, we can do these in all different kinds of colors. We can do like red and white. Imagine that, because then that would be like Valentine's Day, patriotic, Christmas. I'm feeling an idea brewing. Something I hadn't thought of. Okay. And maybe you guys haven't even seen that advertised yet. It's been out there for a while. Because I would see this with a pet sign. I'm thinking like a pet, a Halloween, and a buffalo plaid Christmas for this design. Although I love all the other ones you guys came up with. Sports teams and casinos. Super cute. Dairies, cows, chickens. Gotcha, Elizabeth. She said, yes, I understand. Yeah, our first year we lived here, we had power outages like 1 to 2 times a month. And thankfully, we have not had that. Then again, we haven't had any snow yet this season. I have a fear it's going to come fast and furious in January. Oh, this could be a ladybug one too. if we added pops of red. I'm still like brainstorming other ideas in my head. I'm like thinking out of all the wreaths I've done. This could be Valentine's if we added pops of red. I think I just said that. Okay. Squishing. This is in my way, so I'm just moving. You saw how I just twisted that and moved it to the back because it's in the way like this. Piece is actually going in here. Just twist it and move it backwards towards the center. And then it clears that space so you can see all the ribbon on the outside edge. Okay, flipping it over. Same thing here. Needed to cut my pipe cleaner off though. Okay. Yes, Terry. We learned that after our first winter here, we have a backup generator. So yeah, we have it hooked up to things like the fridge, the internet, the coffee maker. There's like a handful of outlets in our kitchen it's hooked up to. Gotta be able to make coffee. Although I figured out I can do that on my wood stove. I can boil water. You can boil anything on your wood stove. We've just gotten an awful lot of rain in a very short span of time. Thankfully, we don't live near any local rivers and have to face that threat of them overflowing. So I'm going to move so that my diagonal plaid is on top, because that is the same plaid that is featured on the sign. So I want that to predominantly tie into this wreath. Okay, fanning back out. Oh, right? It would be amazing with a big, beautiful red Santa in the middle. Yes. That is so cool. Cheryl says green and tan military, navy and white nautical. Yeah, there are so many different options that you could go through. Like I'm thinking I'll do black and white, navy and white, green and white, and red and white. I think I want to create one of each and then have interchangeable signs with it. Because then like the green and white, you have it for summer. It could be like a watermelon design. St. Patrick's Day, Christmas. It could have just a general welcome on that as well. This would be a good movie room decor for like the vintage Hollywood, the old like Turner Classic Movie type. So the whole goal in designing them then would be coming up with very generic, like you could not use any themed ribbon. Like you couldn't use patriotic ribbon, you couldn't use Valentine's Day ribbon. It would have to stay very generic so that you could switch them out with those seasons and holidays. Okay, a couple more. And then we'll build our bow. I guess the more elaborate designs, you could make interchangeable bows if you wanted things more seasonal. But the whole thing would be minimal effort for a quick change. Yeah, right, Cheryl? Fake popcorn bucket, a movie reel. It's funny, I was going to do one of those. And Hobby Lobby used to have a ton of like movie theater room stuff, and it seems like they got rid of it all. So I haven't been able to find it. Because I wanted to do one like that. I gotta go to Hobby Lobby after the holidays and just look through their signs and see what else we can come up with for all of that. 2 more. But I'm just like looking around my shop. I'm like, okay, I have a dairy one. Like I said, this could be a, it could be a bumblebee. If you add in, it's black and white, you would just be missing the yellow. It could be ladybug if we added pops of red to it, which would make it closer to the buffalo plaid mix for Christmas. Making sure that my ribbon is matching because I've like offset my ribbons. Steady downpour. My poor chickens have been just hanging out under their coop or in their day spa. That's what we call it. We winterized their run so that they can actually hang out outside, even in weather like this, and it's all dry for them. There we go. Last one. Okay. And once I show you how easy it is to switch out the signs, you're going to be like, brilliant! Doing it, adding it, making it. Oh, Cheryl, you said everything has moved around in your Hobby Lobby. Yeah, ours too. I haven't really like spent some time walking around in there just to get this store's layout. It's kind of confusing right now. Making sure I've got these. So black, this is where I'm saying that plaid has to come up to the top. So plaid, plaid, plaid all the way around so that this is what I'm saying, that black and white plaid, it is exactly that same print to the ribbon. Okay, let's set this aside. And let's make our bow, because this is going to be a 7 ribbon bow. So I think I'm going to do like these. Our houndstooth is going on the very end. I think I want that paired here. Let's see. I'm kind of looking at everything and making sure. I think that'll work, that layout. So let's take these. So I'm going to start with this ticking. I haven't yet decided. This is probably going to be a down. I'm thinking a downward facing bow to make changing out the sign easy. Diane says, love this. Very pretty. Thank you, Diane. Using the black and white colors, you could have a sign for birthdays. Yeah, you could switch the year. Like happy 50th. Absolutely. Love those ideas, Robin. Right? It's nice for chickens. Okay. So we're measuring out 10-inch tails. We're going to gather and we're going to twist. And I'm going to slide that right into my Bodabra. Then I'm just going to kind of gauge about 5.5 inches. But I'm going to line this up so that it's perfectly on my 10-inch line. And then when I stretch this out, so this is actually 6 inches. So I'm going to pull it in till we have 5.5 inches. And then we'll do another 5.5 on this side. I have a feeling that one's way over too. Not way over. Okay. And then we're measuring the tail length back out to 10 inches. And we want to dovetail, which is taking your wired edges, putting those together. We're going to cut from the fold to this wired end. So depending upon where you come up on your folded end determines how deep that V is. It forever has changed how I decorate my Christmas ribbon, because I used to be the kind that would cut in and hope that I hit in the middle, until I learned that invaluable trick, and it forever changed everything. This one is going to be 9.5 inches for our tail length. So we're going to measure at 9.5 inches. We're going to gather. We're going to twist and plop that inside. And now on this one, our tail or our loop lengths are only going to be 5 inches. So same thing, bring it to the 10-inch line, stretch it out, and then make sure it ends right at 5 inches. This way you know that your loops are exactly the same size. Okay, let's try this one. That one is way over. And then back out. We're going to trim at 9.5. And then we're going to dovetail the ends. There we go. I say you cut it from the bend to the end. Oh, nice. Yeah, for the longest time, just to keep reminding myself, I'd be like, cut from the fold to the wired end, cut from the fold to the wired end. And you'll tell instantaneously if you do it the backwards way, you get a point and not a dovetail. So we're going to cut the remnant off of this fold. We'll dovetail again, folded side, wired end. This reminds me of Beetlejuice ribbon. All right, we're going 9 inches in. We're twisting, laying that inside. We're going to go up and over, twist, and now I'm aiming for 4.5 inch. I'm a little long. There's 4.5. So 4.5 inches for my, whoop. Let me make sure I did this one right. Yeah, I'm right. It just seemed like it was so short. And we cut that at 9 inches. Dovetail the end. Some people will wait and do all their dovetail cuts at the end. I have found if I do that, I forget them. I will inevitably forget one or two. Okay. I need to bring my pins back in. I was going to work on a project and I didn't get around to doing so. Oop, I'm going to need those pins again for this one. For the polka dots. And like I said, these last two ribbons are both from Kringle Designs with the K. And I love buying coordinated sets, like black and white ribbon bundles all together, because you get a great deal. So these ones are 8.5 inches. And we're going to go again for that 4.5 inch loop, but because we've already measured that black and white stripe, we can just put our fingers in both, pull, and square them up. Same thing here. but I still have to measure out my tail length to 8.5. Dovetail again. And I promise, Cheryl, I'm going to research that as soon as I finish. It's like I keep getting your message and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do that still. See if I can find stuff for our study. I haven't done that. I'm such a bad person. Such a bad person. Oh, she said, I don't know why, but I'm reminded of Alice in Wonderland with those ribbons. You could. This could be Nightmare Before Christmas. It could be Alice in Wonderland. Could be. Could be Beetlejuice. So we're going 8 inches. Twist. And this one's going to be 4 inches for our loop length. Or, yeah, loop length is 4 inches. And same thing. 4.5 inches. Whoops. And then we're going back out 8 inches. And we'll dovetail that one. Look at all those stacks of pretty ribbon. This one's almost done. I have to order more if I don't have that. Okay, Swiss dot. We're going to do the same as this. The tail length, however, is going to be 7.5 inches long, but a 4-inch loop. So, 7.5. Gathering, twisting. So we're going to measure, measure, measure. I'm just making sure you are absolutely not a bad person. I don't know, my chickens would say I am. They'd be like, she doesn't come out and visit us 3 times a day like she used to. The only reason I did the 3 times a day is because after the raccoon attack, I was like, nope, I'm going to make sure every night my chickens are tucked in. And now I'm like, I don't have time to go out there 3 times a day just to make sure they're fine. Okay, 7.5. They're chickens. What do they know? Well, I don't know. They would say they know quite a bit. They know that they're creatures of habit. They expect things when they expect them. And it's like, it's not fun hanging out with them anyway right now because it's raining. I could hang out with them in the day spa, but they leave me. I go out there and I sit on the bench with them and they're like, bye. Thanks for the food. Today I made them, because it was so cold, I made them scrambled eggs from their own eggs. So this one I'm doing 7 inches for my tail length, and I'm only doing 3.5 inches for my loop length, just for this little touch of houndstooth. I love these on black and white wreaths. So 3.5, back out to 7. And yes, this ribbon is wired, which I absolutely adore. Man, if I can find smaller inch ribbon, I definitely love it. But it likes to unspool the whole thing. And this is from Craft Outlet, by the way. Okay, we are taking, let's take a black pipe cleaner. I always bend it in a U to get it in shape. And then I compress both sides through my Bodabra and then just reposition my hands so I can drop this in, hold it at the very bottom, and then just twist your stack a couple times, because then that'll twist your pipe cleaner. We're gonna fluff our bow. Okay, I'm going to put my C-hook back in because I was hanging up wreaths that I had made this week and getting them up off the counters. So I am just going to take this and hook that right through my pipe cleaner so that it'll hold my stack. Okay. Since this is a downward facing bow, super simple. Pull all your tails down first. Find them all. Pull them all straight down. Every single one of them. Oops. There's that one and that one. So here is our mess of tails. Okay. From here, I'm going to let the houndstooth stay center because it's just our extra bow or extra ribbon. And then these two, we're going to flip outwards, both sides, like one on one side, this on the other. And then from here, we're going to do opposites. So I'm going to pull my Swiss dot up and the diagonal plaid down. So the houndstooth is going to go right in between these. Then on these, I'm going to pull polka dot up and the stripe in the center. But on the opposite side, we're doing stripe side up and polka dot in the center. Want to make sure we can see all those colors and patterns and everything. Okay, then the extra two at the very bottom, we're going to pull one up and one down, and we want to make sure we really are eliminating the folded edges on those. So here we're going to pull one up and one down, and then here you can just start maneuvering things to showcase all your beauty in your ribbon choices. And then for these tails, you're just going to run them through your fingers, and that's going to put that little arch back in them all. Doing it on all of them, although you won't notice the ones on the bottom very much because they're sitting closer to the wood. Okay, and then you just fluff them all out so you can see all the patterns and colors and all the fun stuff. Just like so. So that is our bow. This is going to be our downward bow, which means that our sign is going to sit up here, just like that. It looks a little weird because I'm laying it flat, so you can't see the three-dimensional side, but when I lift it up, you can see the welcome just fine. So we're going to take our bow off, opposite, the same way we put it on. And we're going to prep our sign. So on the back, I like to add a business card. So we're going to add our business card so that our customers always know where they can contact you for more signs. Ooh, I did not even do, I didn't plug my glue gun in. Okay. Let's see. I want to be able to do that. Let me look really quick for the stuff to show you about the switchies of the sign. And let me see if I have another 6x12 that I can switch out. Okay, I have the pieces. Let's see if I can find a sign. It is a 6x12. Ooh, here's a 6x12. Okay, so for example, if you had a whole bunch of these, right, and I'm going to show you how to use them. There are these things. They are called alligator clips. And she sells them. I think I bought these. They are a pack of, it says 500 pieces. So this would get me quite a few signs. So these are what they are. They're just little clips. So as this would be on our sign, you just add your alligator clip and alligator clip. And then you would take your sign and you just slide them up and slide them up. And just like that, you have a whole new wreath. So you can get these alligator clips from Lee at plywreathsigns.com. So P is in Paul, L is in Lee, Y is in yours. Wreath signs, and you can that's all they are, is these little plastic clips, and then you can switch them out. So I'm going to show you how they'll work when we actually have them, when we have our sign on there. So I was like looking to see if I had another one. I think the dog sign I have is, yeah, it's around. Let's see if I have another one. I'm waiting for my glue gun. Okay. I have another one that stays in here. It says, "Come and sit on the porch with me. The drinks are cold and the friendship's free." So another thing, because it's black and white theme. 6 by 12. It works. So actually I could sell this with a couple of the signs. How cool is that? Animals have a sense of time when we do something at the same time. Right, Janie? Our chickens are so programmed. Okay. I'm going to just tag the corners because my glue gun is being really stubborn. Okay. And from here, I'm going to, because we don't want to interfere with the clips, I'm going to put them on the side. So I'm going to take my 1.5 millimeter metal hole punch. There's that one. Comes right over here. And all this does is punch little holes in. It works just like a paper hole punch, but this goes right through metal. And you could use 1.5 to 2.0, and that fits pipe cleaners. It fits your floral wire, which I like to use, because using it with a jute burlap, there's a lot of fibers for it to get hung up on. And so I need something with a little bit of weight to it, just to kind of push it through. So here, I just want to measure, and I have equal lengths of wire. So we're going to go right over the top, just like so. I do it about 4 times. It'll give you like a nice 1/4 inch lift, and it'll keep that wire to the back of the sign, whereas that's where we want it to go. So I'm just building right over the hole. So just twist right over the hole. Okay, just like so. And it's all nice and pretty. We're going to put this right in the center. So, but a little ways up. Probably like right there, so we have room for our bow. So, with that being said, I am just going to lift my Deco mesh in the front. am going to feed my wire down, making sure that I have secured it on both sides. I've had it happen where I think I'm like, okay, I've got the wire in the center, and then I look on the back and it's like completely missed the wire altogether. I'm gonna pull this down to the length I want, not completely to the frame, otherwise you get the sunken sign effect. You don't want that. I'm just pulling my Deco mesh here on the sides forward, and then just making sure I go back down into the center. And I'm going to tuck, and pull that in. See, this is one of those times where I completely missed my rail because it's so close. I can tell because when I'm twisting, I'm not getting any tension on my sign. Okay, so under here, and I'm just going to lightly pull back some of my mesh. Pull this back. So we have a nice little ruffle thing going on down there. Okay. Gotta make sure all my loops are done. And then right here at the bottom, because we have this Deco mesh in the way, I'm just kind of pushing it down so that the very edges of that can go right under that sign, so that we can put our bow in, just like so. I'm going to move all these out of the way. I'm going to grab our bow, and I'm going to place that right in the center. Oops. Again, making sure, because that's how you can tell. Like, the biggest question I get is, my bows are wobbly, they flip-flop all over the wreath. What can I do? One is make sure they're secured between rails. Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so we're gonna fan this one all out, nice and pretty. Whoops. Give some love and some lift. Trying to make sure that the bow is centered over the C. And it is. And then you can pull back some of your Deco mesh here and put your ribbons back in place so that we're all good. Let me get this tape off my counter. Okay, right underneath. So if I spin this around, that's what we're looking at. It's just a very generic design. And so I was talking to you guys about switching out the signs. So like, how would a customer do that? How would they be able to switch out their signs? So this is what they'll do. They'll get the clips that are going on their sign, right? And they're going to go here. When they're ready to switch, this stays on there permanently. Then they're going to come in and put another clip on. They're super simple. They just slide on. And then you don't have to worry about anything else. You just come in here with your sign. You just slide that in, slide that in and push your clips down. You can push them over to the side so you don't see them, and then there you go. You switch that out, and now you have your summer sign. Okay. Then we talked about doing this one. Same thing. You wouldn't just keep stacking them, obviously, but these little clips, you just take them and you just clip your other sign in, and there you go. Then you have a nice little fall sign. So this one, I like the idea of making them with interchangeable signs. I was like trying to think if I had one for Christmas. Hold on. I do. And I know I even have one that's a black and white Merry Christmas. But look. Dun, dun, dun. You can switch that one out too. There you go. Christmas, fall, and we just take the clips and clip them back on. Summer, and if you didn't like that one, we could go with that one. So it's like a wreath with many different looks. So there you go. So Deborah, I went early tonight because we have a really big storm coming in. So generally when that happens, we run the risk of losing internet because we have satellite internet. So what do you guys think about the design with interchangeable signs? I'm going to go ahead and pivot you up so we can look at this on the door. Da, da, da. I was looking for the black and white Christmas one I have, because I do have a black and white sign that just says Merry Christmas. Because there are those people who don't want traditional, right? So, like I said, you have this one, which is gorgeous by itself, right? What is it? There we go. And then we're like, oh, but it's Christmas. Too bad, we're gonna have to buy another wreath. No, you don't. You just get the signs. So you just keep your sign in there. You take your little clips, you put them on the ends, just like this. And we have a whole new wreath. And then, if you don't like that, and it's summertime and you're tired of the welcome, we can just take this one off. Just remove the clips. Take that sign off. Switch it out here for a nice summer one. There's that. And that. And literally, look how quickly I am able to change the look of that sign. So now I'm super excited. So I'm gonna look for one that's for a pet lover, like, I don't know, welcome pets or whatever. So I'm gonna do one with a pet. I will probably do the come sit on the porch with me. I'm gonna look for the Merry Christmas. Again, you could even do, you know, if you want to switch it out for the fall, you can switch it out for the fall. But how super simple is that? And all you have to do is just charge for the additional signs. And then the customer saves because they don't have to buy a wreath for every single season. They just buy the signs. And they can change out the signs whenever they want. And I would include like a couple extra clips in there in case they break them. But they're relatively easy to find. So, you like that idea? So do I, Cheryl. I was like, hey, what the heck? We can definitely do that. So, there you guys have it. So, thank you guys for joining me. That's all I have for you today. I will see you guys next week for some new designs for you guys there. We're doing holidays, so it's probably going to be Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. And I might even do the same thing. If I have the right signs, we might be able to switch them out. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.